Thank you so much, Rupali Mataji. Just wonderful, nice kirtan. If possible, can you continue 5 more minutes? Mataji will join 5 minutes, Mataji. Is it okay?
Okay, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radha Jaya Radha Landaneshwar Radha Landaneshwar Radha Jaya Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Gopinata Radha Gopinata Radha, Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Radha Landaneshwarada Landaneshwarada, Jaya Sita Rama Lakshmana Hanuman, Sita Rama Lakshmana Hanuman, Jaya Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Radha, Jaya Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Radha, Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi, Jaya Sita Rama Lakshmana Hanuman, Sita Rama Lakshmana Hanuman, Jaya Sita Rama Lakshmana Hanuman, Sita Rama Lakshmana, Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for a wonderful kirtan. Thanks.
Much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for giving this service, Mataji. It's our pleasure. Thank you, Hari.
Sure. So, meantime, until Mataji comes, I'll sing a nice kirtan of Nityananda Prabhu. Dana Mora Nityananda Pati Mora Gaura Chandra Prana Mora Jugala Kishora Dana Mora Nityananda Pati Mora Gaura Chandra Prana Mora Jugala Kishora Advaita Charya Bhala Gadadhara Mora Kula Narahari Vinasai Mora Advaitacharya Bhala Gadadharya Morakula Narahari Vilasai Mora Dana Mora Nityananda Pate Mora Gaura Chandra Prana Mora Yugala Kishora Vaishnavera Pada Dhuli Kahe Mora Snana Keli Tarpana Mora Vaishnavera Nama Vaishnavera Pada Dhuli Kahe Mora Snana Keli Tarpana Mora Vaishnavera Nama Vichara Kariya Mane Bhakti Rasa Swadhane Madhyastha Shri Bhagavat Purana Vaishnavera Uchishta Pote Mera Manonishta Vaishnavere Namate Ullasa Vrindabhane Chaputara Kahe Mora Mona Ghera Kahe Dine Narottama Dasa Dana Mora Nityananda Pati Mora Gaura Chandra Prana Mora Jugala Kishora Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev ki jai, Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for the wonderful bhajan. Thank you so much. It was very nice. So, Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Welcome you for the Chaitanya Charitamrita session. So, sorry, we are a bit delayed, but we could hear a nice kirtan. So, thank you for Mataji. Basically, today we have a very special topic about Shri Janava Mata or Shri Janava Thakurani or Shri Jahava Devi, very special personality. So because tomorrow is appearance day of two great personalities, so we thought it'll be very nice we can discuss about Shri Janava Mata. It's also Mother Sita Devi's appearance day. So appearance days are the days where we can remember their glories, their pastimes, and also it's a wonderful day to offer our prayers and seek their blessings. So it's nice that today we got the opportunity to remember and meditate and speak about and hear about the glories. So it would be very nice on the day we can actually offer our prayers, from our heart. So let's offer some prayers before we begin the class. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshuvamilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lankayate Kirim Yatkripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Tena Tarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitanamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Srivasati Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnavendra ki jai. Shri Jahava Devi ki jai. So I thank Naveen Prabhu for helping me in this presentation. So we will try our best to, cover some of the glories, because it is unlimited to talk. Who can talk about Shri Jahava Devi, who is none other than the Nityananda Shakti, the internal potency of the Supreme Lord, the eternal consort of Shri Nityananda Prabhu. How can we describe her glories with our conditioned state? It's not possible, but by her mercy, we can try to share some glories. Okay, so let's go to the next one, to the topic. Prabhu. So who is this personality, Shri Janava Mata? So, so when we see the scriptures, especially Bhakti Ratnakar is a book which actually offers a lot of pastimes about Shri Janava Mata. And also there are many other books like Vrindavan Das Thakur's Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and few other books as well, has got a lot of description about Shri Janava Mata. So who is this great personality? So very nicely it's mentioned here, the mother of Sankirtan movement. So basically, Shri Jahava Devi, once the Pancha Tattva, she headed by, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar, Pandit Srivas Thakur, when all of them winded up their earthly pastimes, and many of the associates of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left the mortal world. So then there was a time when there was nobody in Bengal, especially, to lead all the, Sankirtan party, the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it was Shri Janava Mata, who is the eternal consort of Shri Nityananda Prabhu, who actually led the entire Vaishnava community. She's the Acharya of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara after the Panchatattva left to the spiritual world. So very glorious personality. By her mercy, that succession continued. So who was she actually? Who is she actually? Okay, so we see that it's mentioned in the Bhakti Ratnakar that Shri Varuni Revata Vamsha Sambhave Tasya Priyadve Vasudha Cha Jahnavi Shri Surya Dasasya Mahatmana Sute Kakudma Rupasya Cha Surya Tejasa Ananga Manjari Kechi Janamam Cha Prachakshate Ubayam tu Samichinam Purva Nyayat Satam Matam. So what is that? It's mentioned here is that who is she? It is mentioned that Balaram, Lord Balarama had two eternal consorts, Revati and Varuni. So this Revati and Varuni only came in Chaitanya Leela as as Vasudha and Janava. So Balaram himself came as Nityananda Prabhu. So Balaram's eternal consorts, Revati and Vasudha, came as Vasudha and Janava. So that's the identity. And also it is mentioned that she is also in some of the incarnation of Ananga Manjari. Who is Ananga Manjari? Ananga Manjari is a sister of Srimati Radharani. So that is also true, because we see in the in the spiritual world, in the spiritual personalities, there are some combinations present. Just like you see, Advaita Acharya is a combination of Mahavishnu and Sadashiva, right? So the attributes we see that they are or both of the attributes are there, and it's a combined personality. So that is possible. So in the spiritual personalities, this is possible. It's not that it is not possible. So here also we can see that mixed personalities here, that she is there. She is also an eternal concept of Lord Balaram. Also, she has an identity as an incarnation of Ananga Manjari, who is the sister of Srimati Radharani. So, and she was actually, when she appeared as Janava Mata, so that time she accepted Surya Das Pandit, or Surya Das Sarakela. Father's name was Surya Das Sarakela, because he called Vasuda. And so the Suryadas Sarakela was a very, very pious personality. In fact, he was having 5 brothers. And one of the very famous brothers of Suryadas Sarakela is Gauridas Pandit. I don't know how many of you know Gauridas Pandit. Anyone knows who is this Gauridas Pandit in Krishna Leela? Any guess? Anyone can think of who could be this personality? So Suryadas Sarakela is the father of Sri Jahava Devi. So that means the uncle, the brother of Suryadas Sarakela. One of the brothers is Gauridas Pandit, very famous personality. We also talked about him in one of our CC classes very shortly. Very famous personality. And Krishna Leela, he was one of the Saka, or a cowherd friend of Krishna. Anyone has got any idea who is this personality, Gauridas Pandit? If you know, you can put it in the chat. Subal Saka, yes, Anuradha Mataji, right. Is Subal Saka. Krishna had many friends. See, Sridham, Subal, Madhu Mangal. So Subal Saka was a very confidential, very close friend, cowherd friend of Krishna. So this cowherd friend of Krishna, Subala, appeared in Chaitanya Leela as Gauridas Pandit, and he was having this kind of a loving relationship with Lord Chaitanya, also in the mood of a Saka. So he was so attached to him. Before I even go to Janava Mata, I wanted to give a little bit of this thing about Gauridas Pandit, is that just imagine the whole family. So it is uncle of Sri Jahava Devi. So Gauridas Pandit had a Gaurnita, when Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda came to the house of Gauridas Pandit, it was in Ambika Kalna. So he was serving so wonderfully, so nicely, so lovingly. And when Mahaprabhu has to leave, the time to leave, he was not very happy. Just a moment. Sorry. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has to leave, he was not very happy. He was so much feeling the separation that he told the Lord, I cannot leave you. You just remain with me. So the Lord was was bound by the love of Gauridas Pandit. He made a deity. He manifested a deity of, life-size deity of himself and Nityananda Prabhu. So he said that, okay, because, I can't be just staying in one place. I need to go and give out the mercy to everyone. So you please worship these deities. And he gave, this life-size deities. Even now, when we go to Ambika Kalna, we have this life-size deities worshipped by Gauridas Pandit. So then what happened? He said, when he looked at the deities, he was so happy. But then he said, okay, let the deities go, you stay back. So the Lord said, okay. So the deities started walking away. Then immediately he said, no, 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 no. Let them stay back, and then you may go. So like that, the deities, when the deities are, so finally at one point it got confused, who is actually real and who is actually a deity. So it was so much of love this Gauridas Pandit was having that he captured the heart of Lord Chaitanya by his love, the mood of Subal Sakha. And Suryadas Sarakela was also such a very exalted personality, having that mood, like Revati's father, the mood. That's Kakudman, in his previous birth. So that is the mood. And Suryadas Sarakela was a great associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah. So then this is their identity, Shri Janava Mata, and a very great personality, Suryadas Sarakela as a father, and she appeared in a place called Shaligram, which is quite close to Navadip Dham, and so then we will see how actually Shri Janava Devi married Nityananda Prabhu. So that was a very amazing pastime. So basically what happened, Suryadas Sarakela raised these two beautiful daughters, Vasudha and Janava, very wonderfully. And he was very much concerned to whom, he will be giving these two girls in marriage. So that time, one very elderly Brahmana, in Shaligram, the village of Shaligram where, they were living, he told Suryadas Sarakela that, I can tell you one thing, the proper, bridegroom for your two daughters is only Nityananda Prabhu, because Nityananda Prabhu is Balarama himself, and your two daughters are Revati and Varuni. They only came as Vasudha and Janava. So they are the suitable match for Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And so please, give your daughters in marriage to Nityananda Prabhu. So this was told by one very elderly Brahmana in the village of Shaligram. So Suryadas Sarakela also got a dream. So in the dream, he was seeing Nityananda Prabhu sitting, very beautifully on a jewel throne, and her two daughters were sitting nearby, very nicely dressed up, and then they were wearing the beautiful ornaments, looking very effulgent, very happily smiling, and sitting on both sides of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And so then what happened was, after some time, so he got this dream before. Then later again, he got a dream where he saw that Nityananda Prabhu, is becoming Balaram, and on the two sides, that her own daughters, his own daughters, Vasudha and Janava, they became Revati and Varuni. So when he saw the dream, he was very happy, and then he thought, okay, now I have to give my daughter in marriage to Nityananda Prabhu. So he made up his mind. In the meantime, what happened was, Nityananda Prabhu, as we all know, he was with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri, right? When Mahaprabhu, after taking sannyas, he remained in Jagannath Puri. And that time, many followers also stayed back with Mahaprabhu. So that time, Nityananda Prabhu was also there. But one time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu approached Nityananda Prabhu and told, my dear Lord Nityananda, I request you please go back to Bengal, and you have to get married and spread the mission, flood the world with Krishna consciousness, flood Bengal, with Krishna Bhakti. So then when he got this instruction from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu was a bit surprised, because he was like Avaduta, Nityananda Prabhu, and he always wanted to remain in the company of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he didn't want to leave the Lord. So he was actually begging the Lord, and he was saying so many things. I want to remain with you, my dear Lord. I cannot bear the separation anymore. But Lord Chaitanya said, we have come for a mission. So I am a sannyasi, but I want you to become a grihastha so that, you can, spread this mercy, and to all the grihasthas, and, fled Bengal completely with Krishna Bhakti. So please take this order and go. So then, Nityananda Prabhu's life and soul is the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he took the orders of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on his head and he proceeded to Bengal. So that's the time when, Suryadas Sarakela, he wrote a letter, to, Nityananda Prabhu about giving his daughter in, marriage proposal. So then when this letter received, so that time, Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu was in the house, was in Navadip, and all the associates were there, like Shiva Thakur, Advaitacharya. So they were all very happy to hear that Suryadas Sarakela want to give his two beautiful daughters in marriage to Nityananda Prabhu. So everyone was very happy, joyful. And finally, they so Nityananda Prabhu went to Suryadas Sarkela's house. So it was the Lord's arrangement that the Lord put, Suryadas in a, illusion, a transcendental illusion. So when he saw Lord Nityananda Prabhu, something happened in his mind. He was thinking that how can I give my daughter in marriage to an Avaduta, So then he was talking so many things, and he was telling that maybe, I need to check all this or that. There's some excuse, and like he was not really showing willingness. Though he sent a letter, he accepted everything. But when the Lord personally came to his home, he received him so nicely and wonderfully. But he was not very happy to give the daughters. So the Lord left the place, And when this conversation was overheard by Sri Janava Mata and Vasudha in the other room, when she heard, because in some of the books it is mentioned, it was Jahava Devi, in some of the book it is mentioned Vasudha, but whatever it may be, at the end of the day, they both are the Nityananda Shakti. So it doesn't matter who it was. So it was, so it's mentioned that it was Janava Mata. When she heard, she couldn't, when Nityananda Prabhu left, she fainted, and when Suryadas Sarkela saw her daughter's condition, that he called the physician, and then when the physician came, he said that I'm so sorry, it's too late, that, your daughter is actually, we can see that she won't survive for long. You better arrange all the final, ceremony for few thing to arrange, because we cannot bring back her to life. So then when Suryadas Sarkela heard that, he was in a great shock, what to do. So everyone was discussing, and then Gauridas Pandit, he said that maybe that, you disappointed, you actually committed an offense at the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. See, please go and beg forgiveness from Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So immediately Suryadas Sarakela ran, and he saw Lord Nityananda Prabhu was sitting in a marketplace, and he fell at the feet of Lord Nityananda Prabhu and requested him to come. So then Lord said, yes, I would come, but in a condition that you would give your daughter. So then he accepted, and then when Nityananda Prabhu went, just by smelling the fragrance emanating from the transcendental body of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, immediately Janava Mata got back her life, and then she became very happy, and everyone became very happy. Then a very auspicious muhurta was fixed, and the ceremony happened, and it was such a wonderful, beautiful ceremony, very beautifully described in Bhakti Ratnakar, and also in Chaitanya, Nityananda Charitamrita. So all this, it is very beautifully described. So as I was mentioning, a little details could be different, in these books, but at the end of the day, the essence is the same. So so in that way, the very grand ceremony happened, and they got married. And then later the Lord also accepted. So in some of the pastime it is mentioned Janava Mata first got married, and then later Vasudha was also given in hand to Nityananda Prabhu. In some it is mentioned that first Vasudha got married, and then Janava Mata was given later. So this is a description given, but at the end of the day, they both got married and to Nityananda Prabhu, and then they went to, so they remained in Shaligram, the place of Suryadas Sarakela, for some time. And then later they moved to Kardaha, where Lord Nityananda Prabhu resided with Vasudha and Janava. So that happened here. So then this wedding ceremony was also fully organized and sponsored by one of the brothers of Suryadas Sarakela, very grand scale. So all the residents became very happy seeing, Lord Nityananda Prabhu marrying these two wonderful daughters of Suryadas Sarakela. So yes, we will move on to the next. So there are many things actually we can go on describing, but I'm just telling a brief about each of these different topics. So Janava Mata, as we know, a very great personality, none other than an incarnation of Ananga Manjari and Balaram's eternal concert, performed many beautiful pastimes. So some standing out, pastimes we can discuss here. So Janava Mata, when she was actually the past, I may not be telling in order. It may go here and there. Reason being, we are touching on the different topics here. It's not in the order. So when Janava Mata was actually traveling to Vrindavan, this was little later, so this was after Nityananda Prabhu left this world. So that time what happened was she was traveling to many places, giving out the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So one particular time when Janava Mata was going on the way to Vrindavan, there was one particular village where the people were all worshippers of goddess Kali. And they could see that the name and fame of Janava Mata was widespread. So wherever she went, people were completely mesmerized by her transcendental beauty, her sweet talks, and just her potency was so powerful that people were completely changing, falling at her feet and becoming her disciples. So in that way, could see that in many villages, they were all turning into Vaishnavas, devotees. But in this particular village, what happened was there were some people who were actually, were kind of envious of the name and fame of Janava Mata. So they thought that the only way is to pray to Kali, and so that somehow she is killed. So they went and made a very special prayer to Kali and as Chandi that please, somehow she is an ordinary lady, but how come her fame and name is spread so widespread? Then you please, finish her off. So when Chandi heard this, kind of a prayer by this envious people, she got very angry. And then she started to tell the glories of Janava Mata. She said that she is Ishwari. Ishwari means controller, right? She is, internal potency. She is the eternal concert of the Lord. And I myself, as a servant of Janava, I am worshipping her. She is my worshipable deity. So please, don't think of all these things. I will destroy all of you. So Shandi herself glorified Shri Janava Mata. And then all of them, they felt, oh, we have committed a very great offense, and they all went and fell at the feet of Shri Janava Mata, and they all became, disciples of Shri Janava Ishwari. She's also called Janava Ishwari. So many names she has got. But very lovingly she was called as Ishwari, and Shri Jahava Devi, Shri Janava Mata, Nityananda Swarupini, Nityananda Shakti. So in that way, all this envious people, they became devotees. Also, at one point of time, Janava Mata, wherever she went, so many people followed her. So in that way, there were hundreds and thousands of people following her all the time. And and then many of them were giving her gifts and things like that. So when at particular village, when they were crossing, there were some dacoits, and when the dacoits saw that there were so many number of people traveling together, and they saw that some of them having some costly ornaments and things like that, and the gifts, they thought that this is we can lose so much from these people. So they were making a plan, because these devotees, they would normally stay in one place. If it was too late in the night, they would stay near a place, and then after that, in the morning, then they will continue the journey, because those days, as we all know, there was not much of transport and things like that. So to go to one place to another, it was always by foot. So they keep walking to some distance, and then they take rest in some place, and then again they keep traveling. So like that, when they were doing this dacoits, when they saw that Janava Mata, so they made a plan, and they were thinking, okay, now they're all resting, let them rest in the middle of the night, when they were all deeply sleeping. So that time we will attack, and then we will loot everything and go. So they made a very good, fine plan. And then what happened was, it was not so far from the place where they were staying. It is just a hardly a very short distance, which very easily one can reach out. So then what happened? So they started. Night time came, when the midnight came, when they were all very fast asleep. The dacoits, the head of the dacoits said, okay, now it's a time for us to attack them. Hope you all are ready. So everyone was ready, and they started, they took all their weapons, and they all started to run. They are running and running and running and running, keep running for hours and hours and hours and hours. Morning came, till they did not reach. Probably it will be a very short distance, maybe a 50 to 100 meters, but they couldn't still reach till morning. And they could understand that, I think she's not an ordinary personality. We have made some offense, and they all were feeling so much of pain in their legs. They fell down and they got hurt. So then they realized that something is wrong. We made a mistake. And then they were praying, oh, we should now go and ask forgiveness from Janava Mata, that we have committed a big offense. So when the moment they thought, and then immediately they could see that they reached her very quickly. And then they all fell at the feet of Janava Mata. And she's like a mother, forgiving all their offenses. And then she accepted them. So in that way, so every place, wherever she went, whatever challenges came, Janava Mata, even whoever wanted to give trouble, their hearts changed, and they fell at the feet of Janava Mata. So we can also pray to Janava Ishwari. In our path of devotional life also, so many obstacles and challenges comes, right? Because we are in the material world. As Prahlad Maharaj mentions, Narsimha Chaturdasi is also around the corner. Next Sunday, it's Narsimha Chaturdasi. And we see how Prahlad, the best of the devotees, We see that the entire Nrsimha Leela, we see that constantly this Prahlad Maharaj was put in a different kind of challenge, obstacle by his own father, and how Prahlad Maharaj at every moment taking shelter of Krishna's holy name was completely, unaffected and was completely protected. So similarly, so these pastimes all shows us that how we should take shelter of the Supreme Lord. So from Janama Mata's pastimes, we see that, and also Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, all the great personalities, they have written, that we should take shelter of Sri Janava Mata, because by her mercy, then we can cross over many obstacles. Just like we say, by Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, we get Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, right? But how do we get Nityananda Prabhu's mercy? One of the ways we can get Nityananda Prabhu's mercy very quickly is that to take shelter of Sri Janava Mata, Sri Jahava Devi, who is the eternal consort of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So if we take shelter of her, then it is very easy to get shelter of Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Prabhu. And if we get Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, we can get Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. And only by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, who is a combined form of Radha and Krishna, we can get the eternal service of Radha and Krishna. So all starts from here. So how important for us, to know more about Sri Janava Mata. How important for us on our day-to-day life, in our Krishna consciousness, in our spiritual journey, that we take a refuge of this very great personality. We might not have heard about her before, or we might have heard little bit about her. But it's important for us to explore more, to learn more, to hear more about her, so that we can take refuge. Because we will later see a song by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, how wonderfully he has offered a prayer, to Sri Janava Mata. So following the footsteps of those great acharyas, we can either repeat their prayers, or we can offer a simple prayer, heartfelt prayer, taking shelter of a lotus feet, requesting, begging her that she can help us to remove the obstacles and challenges that we face in our spiritual life too. The challenges comes in so many ways. Comes as adhyatmik, adibhautik, adidevik, through a bodily discomfort, or mentally disturbed by so many things, or it could be a disturbance from some other people, or from others, and also by nature, natural calamities and many natural disturbances. So all this different kind of disturbances, we need to take shelter. Padam padam yat vipadam natesham. Prahlad Maharaj says, every step there is danger. We all know that. And so what else we can do? Nothing is under our control. We don't want to have those impediments, but we are not the controllers, right? So we have to take shelter of the supreme controller. And Janava Ishwari, controller. She is the supreme controller, so we can take shelter, and she will control whatever, which is disturbing us, affecting us, or standing as an impediment in our devotional life. So important for us to take shelter. Very beautifully, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, in this song of Vrindavan Bhajan, the very famous song, we know Jai Radhe Jai Krishna, isn't it? So in that he mentions, Shri Janava Pada Padma Koriyo Smaran Dina Krishna Dasa Kohe Nama Sankitan Shri Janava Pada Padma Koriyo smaran Dina Krishna Dasa Koe Nama Sankitan Jayo Radhe Jayo Krishna Jaya Vrindavan Shri Govinda Gopinata Madana Mohan. So in that song, Vrindavan Bhajan, where full of all the places of Vrindavan, Kaviraj, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is glorifying. In that he says, finally at the end, it is so interesting to see. He talks about Jai Radhe, Jai Krishna, Jai Vrindavan, and all the Sambandha deities, then Keshigat, Vamsivat, Govardhan, all that in Vrindavan. And finally, how he ends, Shri Janava Pada Padma, Koriyo Smaran. So he says that, the taking shelter at the lotus feet of Shri Jahava Devi. This lowly Krishnadas sings the glories of Vrindavan. So basically, he's taking shelter of Vrindavan. Why can't somebody else? But here, Kaviraj Goswami especially is mentioning about Shri Jahava Devi. Very, very, very amazing, very wonderful. So the acharyas are teaching us by their own examples, by their own songs, by their own words, their own life, that how we should take shelter of the Lord, how we should take shelter of such personalities, great personalities. So this is one thing. Yes, Prabhu. So then many places Janava Mata, she traveled length and breadth of the country. So many places she traveled with all her associates. We may not be able to cover everything. I will touch upon certain places. Because when Nityananda Prabhu, as I was mentioning, when Lord Nityananda Prabhu, winded up his pastimes in this material world, when everyone was deeply affected by the separation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and all the associates, how Janava Mata actually cheered up all the Vaishnavas, and how she, led the whole, Vaishnava family, the entire Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, she led, and took them, forward, the succession to continue. So we see that how she traveled along with all these associates, gave them so much of, support and inspiration. Very, very amazing, actually. In that only Keturi Mahotsava comes, which we will see. But she also went, when she went after that, she will go and visit a lot of places. I will just, few places I will just highlight here. Then we will go to the Keturi Mahotsava. So then she went to Ambika Kalna also. As we know, Ambika Kalna is a place where she got married, isn't it? So later, when after Nityananda Prabhu left also, when she visited the place, she couldn't see any of those associates. She was remembering all of their, family members and everyone. No one was there at that moment. But she was in separation. She was remembering all of them. Then she went to Navadip Dham, and then she went to Sachi Mata's house, but Sachi Mata was not there, and Shiva Sangan, she couldn't see Shiva Thakur, but the sons of Shiva Thakur she could see. And then she went to Shantipur. Advaita Acharya already left but the sons of Advaita Acharya, she was she could they could get her association, and then later Janava Mata, like that, she was giving the second generation of devotees. She was giving all that inspiration, support, and guidance, especially guidance. She was giving to all the second generation devotees after Mahaprabhu. So then they went to Keturi. Then we will talk about Vrindavan. Prabhu, you can move to the next one. Keturi Gram, which is a very, very amazing place. I don't know how many of you, is there anyone here who visited Keturi? Please put in the chat box. It's a beautiful place in Bangladesh. It is the birthplace of one of our wonderful acharyas, a great personality, Shri Narottam Das Thakur. It's Keturi Gram, very, very beautiful place. We went all the way to Bangladesh, but we are so unfortunate that we couldn't go to Keturi. But we could go in the Padma River. But because of the time constraint, we couldn't go to Keturi. So we couldn't see this beautiful place. But hope we can go at some point of time. So this Keturi Mahotsava, very, very famous for many, many reasons, because many miraculous things have happened here. So, and it is it's a place where the first Gaura Purnima festival also happened. What happened was so everyone was in deep. So this is actually straight away after everyone, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, and many great associates disappeared from this material world. At one point of time, everyone was in a deep separation that no one was speaking anything. Everyone was in their own place, crying, tears, shedding tears in separation, remembering all these great personalities. So that was what happening. So there was no festivals happening. There was nothing happening. Everyone were in their own place, remembering the lordships, remembering the associates, remembering those sweet pastimes, and were crying in separation. So when this was happening, Narottama Das Thakur, so he was thinking, everyone is deeply absorbed in the separation, in the mood of separation of Lord Chaitanya and his associates. So it would be nice to bring everyone together. So Narottama Das Thakur thought about it, and then he was speaking with Srinivasa Acharya. So when he was talking about that, Srinivasa Acharya also got a dream. In that, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself came, and he said that, yes, I want this festival to happen, and I want to see all my associates coming together on my appearance day. So please go ahead. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also came in the dream and confirmed to Srinivasa Acharya. And Janava Mata was also getting the dream, where Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally came in the dream of Shri Janava Mata and ordered that you please take all the, you please go, and all the Narottama Das and Srinivasa Acharya are waiting for you, and you should take all the Vaishnavas, all the associates, and then you should arrange a great festival. So Mahaprabhu also said, I will appear personally in that festival. So Janava Mata was also, Mata also got this dream and the order of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So immediately she was so happy, and she, left Kardaha where she was there. And all the residents of Kardaha, they followed, and all our associates, they followed, Janava Mata. And Narottama Das Thakur sent people, those days, there was no much way of communicating, but just imagine how they organized a festival. Today also we are organizing a festival. We have so many ways to, promote the festival. We have WhatsApp groups. In no moment the message is reached to hundreds and thousands of people, right? And we have got digital media. We have got all these various ways, to promote our festivals. That means how much we should be promoting now. Because if we hear this festival, first Gaur Purnima festival, there was, it's like 500 years before we are talking about. And that time, they have to get some 2-3 people, get some people and tell them, okay, take this letter and go and go to this particular village and give this message. And they may take a few days or a weeks to go and then give this message. So this was a condition, but see how they took the words or the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so close to their heart that So this is of course we may say they are the eternal associates of the Lord. That's true, but we can take the spirit. We are not going to imitate. We cannot imitate the great personalities, but we can take the essence and the lessons. That how they took that order. The externals conditions are not at all an excuse or not a reason or not an obstacle, because when Srila Prabhupada first met Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in the Ulta Danga, he was when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that you please take this message to the English speaking people. And when Srila Prabhupada heard that, he said that India is still under the slavery. India is still under slavery of the British Empire. How people will listen to all this message? But Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Thakur said that Krishna consciousness do not have to wait for any external things. It is not dependent on any external factors. So we see here that any point of time, whether it is 500 years before, 5,000 years before, 100 years before, or any time in the future, the external factors can never be a cause of obstacle for one to perform any Krishna conscious activity, because it is totally a transcendental activity. It is dependent on the mercy of the Lord. It is not dependent on our expertise, that I need to be a very expert person in order to organize something, or I need to be a highly qualified person. None of this matters. What matters is the desire, the intense burning desire to take the message of Lord Chaitanya far and wide. If we have the sincere desire, Krishna will empower us, Lord Chaitanya will empower us with all that which is required, whether it is resources, whether it is expertise, whether it is anything else which is required. Everything will be arranged. So this is a very beautiful point for us to, take away in our life, because somehow or other we have been put in a, we are in an association and we are blessed to take up, many services. Many service opportunities are knocking our doors. Many times we may think that, oh, I don't think so, I am qualified. Or we may think that, oh, I don't have this, I don't have Lakshmi, I don't have expertise, I don't think so, I'm knowledgeable. I'm not having this, I'm not having that, or my conditions are not good enough, at this present point. So we may think of many external factors. Generally, that's what we think. But here the point is that we do not have to worry about those things. We have to see that what first thing, the first qualification is to have that, because the desire to execute the order. That's the first bit. Then the second thing is automatically the revelation comes, the guidance comes, empowerment comes. Then of course we will take training, we will take whatever is required, and then we go forward. Then by their mercy, we are not the doers. It is Krishna who is doing it. It is Lord Chaitanya who is doing it. We are just instruments. But many times this point, being conditioned souls, we forget. At least I forget. So this is a very important point. It reminds me that how we actually should take these instructions deep in our heart, and then how Krishna can make us, a worthy instrument. That's what I personally felt when I was reading this pastime. Very, 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 very inspiring. And we see this. So this devotees, they would go weeks and weeks. They will travel and give this message out. Yes, please come for this festival, Keturi festival. So they will send out the invitation. And so amazing that, wherever Janava Mata was going, hundreds and thousands, she will go and call out all the associates, and one associate will go and call the other associate. So like that, every place where she was going, she was taking all the associates, and in that way, like thousands and thousands and thousands of people gathered for the Keturi festival, and it was such an amazing festival that, the entire Keturi, the streets of Keturi was washed, not one house, two house, entire Keturi was washed. The streets were washed with scented water, and each house was decorated so wonderfully with mango leaves and, the banana stalks, the sugarcane stalks, all the auspicious things, and it was such a festival mood in the entire Keturi gram. And kirtan everywhere, only people could hear beautiful kirtans, and also the Bhagavatam, the lectures on Bhagavatam, everywhere Hari Bol, everywhere Gaura Purnima, everyone is talking. These are the words we could hear everywhere resounding in the Keturi gram. In such a festive and festive mood, full of love and full of devotion. So in that way, the whole Keturi was overwhelmed, to celebrate this beautiful festival. So then what happened? So then now all of them gathered, and everything was very beautifully arranged. And then that day, they also planned to install 6 deities, So that's why Gaur Purnima Day is also a day of installing the deities. So, so the deities were all kept ready. And the previous day, previous day is called Adivas. Generally, you see any festival for that matter, whether it's a Gaura Purnima, it is Radhashtami, sorry, Janmashtami, any festival, the previous day is called Adivas Ceremony. They do, because it's a day, it is a preparation, preparing our mood for the next day. And also, it's a day to offer prayers so that there is no obstacles comes, in the festival. And with auspicious items, they offer prayers. So in the Adivas, ceremony, what happened was, Narottama Das Thakur, he worshipped Janava Mata with, sandalwood and garlands, and she was announced as the chief guest, for the entire festival. And the chief priest was Srinivasa Acharya, and Raghunandan Thakur, he was made the person to, offer invocation prayers. So all these wonderful things were planned, and then everyone was, very happy. And then the kirtan went very late in the night, and then everyone had prasadam, and then they rested. And the next day morning, the festival started. And, Srinivasa Acharya offered prayers to Janava Mata. And with the permission of Sri Janava Mata, the Abhishek ceremony of all the deities took place in a very, very wonderful manner. And the kirtans were going on. And, after the Abhishek ceremony was done, the deities were very beautifully dressed. And, so then after that, the Arati ceremony. The Arati ceremony was, also performed by Srinivasa Acharya. And then what happened? Something wonderful happened. Was that at one point of time, they could see 2 miraculous things happen. One was they could see that the Lord, expanded his form in the way that, the beautiful aroma, the fragrance, the natural fragrance from the body of the Lord expanded and filled everyone's nostrils. And then they could feel, they could smell, and everyone was overwhelmed with ecstasy. So that was one miraculous thing. Everyone felt they were overwhelmed with love, and they were jumping and dancing in great ecstasy. And then the Kirtan was also going on, and suddenly Janava Mata looked at Narottama Das Thakur. She glanced at Narottama Das Thakur. She gave her kripa, she gave her mercy, to Narottama Das Thakur. And when Narottama Das Thakur got this empowerment from Shri Janava Mata, that's it. When Narottama Das Thakur started singing the wonderful Kirtan and bhajans, already his voice was so sweet, and that voice became even more sweeter and sweeter and sweeter, soaked with so much love and devotion. And it was melting everyone's heart, and not just melted everyone in the assembly, but it melted the Supreme Lord, that Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, Sri Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar Pandit, Srivas Thakur, and all the associates of Mahaprabhu who already left the planet. They all descended down. They all descended down, and they started dancing with all the devotees who assembled, in that wonderful Keturi Gram, and in that festival. And you could see that Lord Nityananda Prabhu is dancing so jubilantly, so jubilantly. And Advaita Acharya is dancing like a mad, lion. He was dancing. And Gadadhar Pandit is dancing so elegantly with Srivas Thakur. And all the other associates, Narahari Thakur, and everyone, they were all dancing in great ecstasy. So this was going on, and everyone was able to see the Lord face to face. They were in deep separation before the Keturi festival. And now in the Keturi festival, not only they could see all the associates of Mahaprabhu who were alive, who were in planet that time, and also Janava Mata, but they could also see, Lord Chaitanya, the Panchatattva, and the associates already left the planet. So it was such a joyous occasion that everyone could see the Lord face to face and have that wonderful association. And at the end of the Kirtan, they all disappeared again. So again, what happened? Everyone were, put again in great lamentation. So they were again, they went back to that same mood of separation, crying piteously, because before they didn't see the Lord, they were crying. Now they saw the Lord, and the Lord has disappeared. It's even more painful. So they were so much crying, and so in that mood, Shri Janava Mata, being the great Acharya, she saw that all the devotees in great separation. She herself is in great separation, but when she saw all the associates were in great separation and lamentation, so she wanted to change that mood. So immediately she said, she ordered Srinivas Acharya, please go and bring the colors, because it was, as we all know, Gaura Purnima festival. Gaura Purnima is also the holy, it is a holy festival. So she said that bring all the colors, and then they, applied the colors to all the deities. And then the colors were thrown on the devotees, and they had a very wonderful festival. So Janava Mata brought back, she brought the devotees back from the lamentation, and made the festival more joyful and jubilant and wonderful for all the Vaishnavas. So we could see here again how Narottama Das Thakur, with the mercy of Shri Janava Mata, got that empowerment to sing in such a way that we can melt the lordships, Panchatattva, to appear. So the kripa, the mercy glance of Shri Janava Mata, we need that mercy so much. There is one song called Radha Kripa Kataksha, the sidelong glance of Srimati Radharani. That was sung by Lord Shiva himself. Lord Shiva, beautiful verse. In fact, if possible, we should, recite this verse to get the mercy of Srimati Radharani, because it's sung by Lord Shiva himself with so much of love and devotion. Similarly, we see here the Kripa Kataksha of Janava Mata, how it has empowered, Narottama Das Thakur. How, this kripa has brought Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda, and the Panchatattva and all the associates. So we also have to take her blessings, her mercy, seek her mercy, so that we can also get empowered. We can also get empowered to be an instrument in giving out the mercy of Lord Chaitanya to everyone. So this is a very beautiful, famous Keturi festival. And Janava Mata herself, so Adivas finished, and the next day, great festival. And the third day, Janava Mata personally cooked. One of the things she likes, Janava Mata, is to personally cook and personally feed the Vaishnavas. She will personally serve all the devotees, and she will take prasadam at the last. So she was cooking for all the associates of Mahaprabhu, and she was cooking for the deities, and then she was feeding everyone. In that way, the festival was very, very joyful. So then after that Keturi festival, she traveled to, she took permission from all the Vaishnavas, to leave for Vrindavan, and everyone was so worried, so much in a separation, because already they felt separation from Panchatattva and all the associates. Now everyone is leaving Keturi. So Narottama Das Thakur was so happy. But now, in fact, Narottama Das Thakur's younger brother, Santosh Datta, he was a king, because he inherited that kingdom from his father Krishnananda. So he only arranged all these facilities, for all the associates. He arranged very beautiful quarters, nice place to stay, and then all the prasadam and everything he arranged, and even the boat facilities for people to cross from this side to that side, everything was arranged. So, but when all the associates were leaving, they were in great sorrow, and then Janava Mata said, now I have to leave. So then she went to Vrindavan, and that Vrindavan, Prabhu, we can move to Vrindavan also. She went to many, many places, and she would cook for all the main deities, the Acharya's deities, like Sanatana Goswami's deities. Sorry. Sanatana Goswami's deities, Rupa Goswami's deities, Jiva Goswami's deities. All of them she would cook each day, one deity she would cook. Okay, sorry. So she would cook for each deities. Not only that, she cooked for all the so Vaishnavas also. Wherever she got an opportunity, she would cook for all the Vaishnavas, and she would feed them personally. There is one place, because it's a long pastime, I'll just end here because already it's 9:20. One last pastime I would say is that when Vrindavan, when she visited the Radha Gopinath deity, the Sambandha Abhideya Prayojana deity, the Prayojana deity is Radha Gopinath. So when she visited Gopinath deity, she could see that Gopinath is very tall and Radharani is very small. So she was thinking that, oh, Gopinath very tall and Radharani is very small, actually not really matching, she was thinking in her mind. Then she thought, maybe, maybe I should not have thought like that. But Krishna came in the dream of Janava Mata and said that, actually, you are very correct. Radharani is not matching for her. You please go to, Kardaha and get or arrange, another Radharani for me. So then Janava Mata would go again, and then she would arrange a very beautiful Radharani of matching, for Krishna's size, Gopinath size. And they, so that Radharani was placed on the right side of Gopinath, and this little Radharani deity was put on the left side of Gopinath. It is mentioned that this little Radharani's deity was considered as like because this is as Ananga Manjari, later worshipped as Ananga Manjari. And later, Janava Mata entered into this deity because she is an incarnation of Ananga Manjari. So, in that way, she entered into this Ananga Manjari deity. And also, there is a place, in near Radhakund, that Janava Mata could see Lord Krishna playing his flute, and she was overwhelmed, and she ran going to see Krishna, and then afterward Krishna disappeared. And that particular place where Krishna showed darshan in his original form, playing his flute for Janava Mata, that place is called Janava Baitak. Even now, when we go there, the place is there and it is written there. So very, very special place. And also there is a staircase going down where Janava Mata would take bath, in that Radha Kund, a special place. Because it's mentioned that the middle of Radha Kund is a very special place which belongs to Ananga Manjari, where Srimati Radharani arranges Ananga Manjari, to have the association of Krishna. So it's a place in Radha Kund. So it's a very, very special place, Janava Baitak. So we will just see this meaning of this song. I'm not singing the song, but very beautiful song sung by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. You can YouTube, you can hear the song. Just the meaning alone, I will read how deep is the prayer of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Very, very, just one more pastime also. Last one, Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, when she met all, so Janava Mata was traveling everywhere and meeting all the different associates of Lord Chaitanya. When she came to Vrindavan, she wanted, specifically Radha Kund, she wanted to see Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, because Raghunatha Dasa Goswami was was in his ripened age. He was not even able to walk, and he was in the deep separation, remembering, absorbed in the separation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But when he heard Janava Mata is coming, then he was, with a great effort, he was walking and coming, and Janava Mata was so pleased to see Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, because Raghunatha Dasa Goswami is none other than Rati Manjari. And so it is, what to say, transcendental conversation between these great personalities, because they were all in Krishna Leela. So very amazing pastimes, happened there. So this Radha Kund, we can still see that place where Janava Mata saw Krishna, face to face. So that place is also there. Anyway, this one, we will see the song, how very deeply Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has sung this. Having fallen into the vast ocean of material existence, my heart has become extremely worried. I cannot even find a clue of the means to get some help. I have no strength from fruitive activities or speculative knowledge, nor do I have any help from virtues created by sacrifices, yoga practice, or austerities. I am extremely feeble and I don't know how to swim. Who will rescue me from this dreadful calamity? Prabhu, next. I see the horrible alligator of sense gratification present before me. The waves of lust are constantly agitating and provoking me. I can no longer cope with all the urges that are pushing me like a raging wind from my previous births. I simply weep with an agitated mind, for I do not see any rescuer in sight. I see here there is a point. I can no longer cope up with all the urges that are pushing me like a raging wind from my previous birth. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur here mentions a point. Of course, he is a liberated soul and he's an eternal associate of the Lord. But he's reflecting the mind of the conditioned souls here. We can see here for us also, because we have so many conditions from our past births, sometimes we may not want to do certain things, but we end up doing those things. Why? Because of this conditioning from our past lives, because we do not know what and all we have done in all our previous births. So those conditionings are still strong. Just like Srila Prabhupada says, if you switch off a fan, the fan doesn't stop immediately. It takes some time to stop. Similarly, we might have now given up all our sinful, gross sinful activities. Maybe some subtles are hanging around, but still there are certain tendencies may still attack us and push us. Why? Because it takes some time. and we have so many urges which comes from our past previous births. So he's reflecting our conditioned mind here. So I simply weep with an agitated mind, for I do not see any rescuer in sight. Oh, most revered Janava Devi, please show mercy to this servant today by virtue of your own good qualities, and kindly relieve all of his afflictions. Yes. By taking the shelter of the boat of your lotus feet, I will certainly be able to cross over this vast ocean of material existence. You are the very pleasure potency of Lord Nityananda, and you are the spiritual master of devotion to Lord Krishna. Kindly bestow upon this servant the wish-fulfilling desire tree of your lotus feet. Thus, this most wretched and shameful rogue, oh my God, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, how he presents himself. Thus, this most wretched and shameful rogue begs at your feet today, for he sees that you are delivering many other sinners. So this is our only hope. Following the footsteps of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we also can offer our prayers to repeat these prayers and offer our prayers to Sri Jahava Devi on the most auspicious appearance day of hers, and seek her blessings, so that all these obstacles are removed and we may go forward in our devotional life in the pure spirit of devotion, of pleasing Krishna, pleasing Guru, Gauranga and Vaishnavas, the spirit of pleasing them and not pleasing our senses. Yes. Hari Bol Prabhu. That's fine. This we will read another time. It's all full in Sanskrit, right? There are many, many more glories of Janava Mata. So basically, like this, so much is there with my conditioned mind, with my limited ability, and whatever little bit could even say, it is her mercy that could share with all of you today. So we all can pray and get her blessings and mercy, and we can study and learn more about her. There are many, many wonderful lectures and wonderful materials available to learn, to know more about Sri Jahava Devi. So we can all try to learn more so that we can appreciate more. If we appreciate more, then we'll be able to take shelter of her. So thank you very much. So we will end here. Shri Janava Mata ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada also mentions in various places how Shri Janava Devi's eternal consort of Nityananda Prabhu, and how without her mercy, one will not be able to take the mercy of Shri Nityananda Prabhu. So Panihati festival is coming. I hope everyone is geared up for that. June 12th this year. June 12th is Panihati festival, and Panihati festival is all about pleasing Nityananda Prabhu, right? And how Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami was trying to get Lord Chaitanya's mercy without Nityananda Prabhu, and he was not able to get it. But only when he got the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, he could get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. In order to get the mercy of Lord Nityananda, it's for us, it's important to get Sri Janava Devi's mercy. So we can offer our prayers, and then we can, I think the festival team would soon announce about the Panihati festival and the pot making, and so many things are there. So we all can get next 1 month, we can be completely absorbed in remembering many wonderful pastimes of Nityananda Prabhu, and also assisting Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, a great Acharya, a very great Acharya, in pleasing Sri Nityananda Prabhu, the mood of servant. So that's what is about our parampara. So thank you very much. Is there any other announcements, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Mataji. So mainly announcement is regarding the Gita Gyan. As everyone knows that from 12th of May we have class is starting. So whatever registration.
When is it starting? 12th, isn't it?
Yeah, 12th of May, Mataji.
Yeah, Ekadasi.
Yes.
Yeah.
So last 4 days to push as much as possible. We can get approximately 400 or 500 registration. It will be nice start, because last time we did approximately 450 registration for adults or more than that.
Yeah.
So we'll request everyone, please republish this message in your respective group. Not because this is not for our existing devotees, more about your contacts, friends, co-workers, society group, language group, community group, like that. So even if we push message once more or twice more, someone will turn it and try to register. So that is the only main, because whatever physically each dham could do, they did in Sankirtan in last 3-4 weekends. So now it's more virtual thing, so it's all working there.
Yeah.
So we'll do that.
Yeah, that's nice, Prabhu. Now only we heard all these pastimes, Jahava Devi's pastimes, and we saw the Keturi festival, how they promoted so wonderfully. So we have all the technology, we have all the facilities, so we can push ourselves, we can try ourselves. Next few days are there. Today is 9, so we have 2 more days. Still there is possibility for us to reach out as many as possible. And this is, what makes Janava Mata happy, what makes the Lord happy. They will be very happy if we can assist what they want. They want everyone to take a shelter at the lotus feet. That's what Janava Mata did as an Acharya. When no one was there to guide and lead the movement, she was there, standing there, and took all the associates and led them towards taking this forward. So our mood is we have to assist. So we can also try to see who and all can be connected, who can get benefited, how we can publish, what are the different groups are there, different kind of WhatsApp groups, because we are covering almost many places in UK. So we can again republish, as Prabhu mentioned, think of various out-of-box ways. Still 2 days is still a great time. And whoever is hearing today in this session, you can also reach out. If you have already reached out, great. You can think of something where we have not, if you have not tapped any other resource or any other openings, and we can try that one. Otherwise, everyone can try for the next 2 days, whatever possible. So in that way, everyone can get benefited, because this is the footstep we have to follow. That's what all our acharyas have done, to connect. Someone connected us, and we are just trying to connect others. That's it. Very simple. We don't have to do something different. Someone connected us, we are trying to connect others, and in that way everyone can get benefited. So let's take this inspiration from this great personalities, from the acharyas, and then seek their blessings and guidance and mercy, so that we can also be those empowered instruments in taking it forward. So thank you so much, and thank you for all the devotees. We'll show Jagannath Darshan now quickly, and we'll end here. Okay, thank you so much, Haribol. If anything is there, you can share, Prabhu. I'll be there shortly. Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra Maharani ki Jai. Can you see?
Yes, Mataji, we can see.
No.
जय जगन्नाथ, जय बलदेव, जय सुभद्रा महारानी की। जय जगन्नाथ का, जय जगन्नाथ, जय बलदेव, जय सुभद्रा।
Jagannath Jai Baladev Jai Subhadra. Very well. Thank you very much for joining today, and we will catch up soon. So we have Ekadasi coming up. We have Janava Mata appearance coming. Sita Devi's appearance coming same day, and we have Mokini Ekadasi on Thursday, and Lord Nashingadev's appearance on Sunday, and Gita Gyan starting on the auspicious Mohini Ekadasi. So it's a full of festivities. So Hari Bol. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
everyone.
Mataji, for nice
Krishna.
message.
Thank you.
Jai
Hare Krishna,
Jagannath.
Mataji.
Hare
Jai
Krishna,
Jagannath.
Jai
Jai
Jagannath.
Ki Jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.